Hi, this is Shelley Evers, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at St. Anne's Elementary in Wausau. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about kindergarten number sense and how number sense is a really important skill for students to master as they develop a foundation of math skills. I first started noticing this as a problem when I was trying to teach teen numbers to my students. As they understand numbers, they pretty much understand 0 to 10, but when we start adding teen numbers, it becomes more tricky. Students tend to reverse numbers instead of saying 14, they would say 41. And it's understandable when we understand that for teen numbers, we say the ones number first, then the tens number. So, and all other decades, we say the tens number first and then the ones number. So it tends to be very confusing. I wanted to understand why this is and how it can help them. And so my research led me to understand there are three reasoning skills that students need to understand. These three reasoning skills are the oddity principle, seriation and insertion, and number conservation. The artifacts in my paper demonstrate these three reasoning skills, and I'd like to show them to you as we look at artifact A first. The oddity principle demonstrates the child's ability to notice something different in a group. So, for example, in number one, you can see there's dogs with one little kitty, and the cat, of course, is the one that is different. If we don't see differences, if the students do not see these differences, it indicates that they have not developed this skill yet. This is the earliest of the three to develop in students. So if students are struggling in this area, we know that we really might need to identify them for some remediation. As we go to artifact B, seriation and insertion, this is the second level of development. And we see here that students can create a series that goes from smallest to largest. And then insertion takes the set of three, allows the student to create the series from smallest to largest, and then adds a fourth object or however many the teacher decides to use. And then the fourth object must be inserted in the series in the correct place. Again, a patterning and developmental skill that students need in order to develop number sense skills at a later date. Artifact C here is number conservation. This is showing a student that a group of objects can be changed by adding or taking something away. It's starting to cement the idea that a number is representative of a specific set of objects, and that when you change those objects, the number also changes. After students master those skills, then we can start introducing number sense. The realization of that has allowed me to reevaluate our assessment that we do, especially at the beginning of the year, to identify those students who might still be struggling with those three key reasoning skills and need more support in that area. Artifact D, after we've identified the students who have mastered the three reasoning skills, can then be implemented. This is the number sense idea. And in this exercise, students would be given a set of foam numbers and then or any set of numbers in whichever way you'd like to do it. And these students would then select a number, any number they choose. In this example, the student has selected the number 3. Then the students are given a group of manipulatives. In this example, I use blocks, but it could be anything, the little teddy bears or marshmallows or whatever you decide to use. And they would then say the name of the number out loud. This is cementing the figure of the number to the name of it. And then they would have to select the correct number of blocks in this example that match the number that they have chosen. So now we're connecting the actual number with the physical number of objects that belong to that number. This is a great exercise. I'm looking forward to using this in small groups. This could be the numbers that are displayed can be changed depending on the developmental skills of the students. For example, you can change from 1 to 5, to 5 or 6 to 10. Um, then you could also change it once they mastered 0 to 10 to the teen numbers. Thus, answering my initial question, how can we better teach teen numbers to students? I think before it has always been such an abstract concept that really cementing these skills, the key reasoning skills, first of all, to understand if the child is developmentally ready to understand number sense, and then really associating the physical objects with the actual number to develop a sense of number sense. I'm so excited about the research that I learned and to have some solid skills. I think these really support WTS 1 and 2, understanding central concepts and making them meaningful to students, as well as understanding how students with broad ranges of abilities learn and develop. This has been a great research project for me, and I'm excited to see how the students can develop these to really put a foundation of number reasoning skills and number sense in place as they go forward through school. Thank you.